Hello everyone, I am Dr. Rasmeet Kaur Malhi, Assistant Professor, Department of Management from the Bhopal School of Social Sciences. With this video, I am here to make you understand what are the different types of contract on the basis of validity, modes of creation and basis of performance. You will further come to know about what is difference between void and voidable contract and also the difference between void agreement and illegal agreement. So let's get started. The Indian Contract Act came into force on 1st of September 1872. Prior to this, there was an English common law which was applied to Indians indiscriminately. That led to many inconveniences, and to obviate this, the Contract Act was formed. According to Section 2H of Indian Contract Act of 1872, contract is an agreement which is enforceable by law. This act is not exhaustive. It does not deal with contracts relating to partnership, sales of good, negotiable instrument, insurances, etc. Broadly, types of contracts can be classified into three categories: on the basis of validity or enforceability, on the basis of formation and on the basis of performance. Let's start with the first one. On the basis of validity and enforceability, contracts can be classified as a valid contract, a void contract, a voidable contract, an illegal contract and unenforceable contract. Let's start with the first one, a valid contract. Section 2H of Indian Contract Act 1872 says an agreement which is enforceable by law. It contains all essential elements of a valid contract. First one, intention to create legal relationship. Second, a lawful consideration. Third, offer and acceptance. Fourth, capacity of parties. Fifth, legal formalities. Sixth, free consent. Seventh, lawful object. Eighth, certainty of meaning. Ninth, possibility of performance. And 10th as those agreements which are not declared as void. Let's take few examples. Mr. X agrees to write a book for a publisher. After few days, X dies in an accident. Here, the contract becomes void due to impossibility of performance of contract, which is also known as supervening impossibility. Let's take another example. A contracts with B, who is the owner of the factory, for supply of 10 tons of sugar. But before the supply is affected, the fire caught in the factory and everything was destroyed. Here, the contract again becomes void. Thus, it may be added by way of clarification here that when a contract is void, it is not contracted at all, but for the purpose of identifying it, it has to be called as a void contract. Let's come to the third classification, that is a voidable contract. Section 2I defines that an agreement which is enforced by law at the option of one or more parties thereto, but not at the option of other or others, is a voidable contract. Let's take an example here. Absence of free consent, agreement by coercion, undue influence, fraud or misrepresentation. In all these kind of contracts, evidence is very essential. These contracts can be cancelled by the court of law and they are not punishable. Let us see what is the difference between a void contract and a voidable contract. On the basis of meaning, a contract ceases to be enforceable by law, becomes void when it ceases to be enforceable. Whereas a voidable contract is when an agreement which is enforceable by law at the option of one or more parties thereto, but not at the option of other or others, is a voidable contract. On the basis of cause, a contract becomes void due to change in law or change in circumstances beyond the contemplation of parties. But in a voidable contract, a contract becomes voidable if the consent of party is not free. On the basis of performance of contract, a void contract cannot be performed. Whereas in a voidable contract, if the aggrieved party does not within a reasonable time exercise his right to avoid the contract, any party can sue the other for claiming the performance of the contract. And on the basis of rights, a void contract does not grant any right to any party. Whereas in a voidable contract, the party whose consent was not free has a right to rescind or cancel the contract. Let's come to the fourth one, void agreement. Section 2G of Indian Contract Act of 1872 says that an agreement not enforceable by law is void. Let's take an example here. An agreement with an incompetent person such as a minor, a person who is of unsound mind, unlawfulness in the object and consideration of contract. All these agreements are void ab initio, which means they are void from the initial stage itself. Let's come to the fifth one, illegal contract. It is a contract which the law forbids to be made. The court will not enforce such a contract but also the connected contracts. And illegal contracts are void, but all void agreements are not necessarily illegal. All these kind of contracts are punishable under law. They are the void agreements and it will make the collateral part also illegal. Let's take one example here. If A gives loan to B of rupees 5 lakhs, it is a valid contract. But if A knows that B will buy guns from C from this money, then the contract of A and B will also become illegal. Now let's understand what is the difference between a void agreement and an illegal agreement. On the basis of scope, a void agreement is not necessarily illegal, whereas an illegal agreement is always void. On the basis of nature, void agreements are not forbidden under law, whereas illegal agreements are forbidden under law. On the basis of punishment, parties are not liable for any punishment under a void agreement, whereas when we speak about illegal agreement, parties to all illegal agreements are liable for punishments. Let's come to the next point, that is collateral agreement. In case of a void agreement, it is not necessary that agreements collateral to void agreements may also be void. It may be a valid agreement also. But in case of an illegal agreement, agreements collateral to all illegal agreements are always void. Let's come to the sixth classification on the basis of enforceability or validity, that is an unenforceable contract. A contract which cannot be enforced due to some technical defect is known as unenforceable contract. Let's take an example here, a check without a signature. Let's come to the second basis of classification on the basis of formation of contract. On the basis of formation, a contract can be an express contract. Now what is an express contract? A contract would be an express contract if all the terms are expressed by words or in writing. Let's take an example here. A tells B on telephone that he offers to sell his house and B in reply informs A that he accepts the offer. This is an express contract. Implied contracts. Implied contracts come into existence by implication. Most often the implication is by law or by action. Let's take example here, where a coolie in uniform picks up the luggage of A to be carried out of the railway station without being asked by A and A allows him to do so, it is an implied contract and A must pay for the services of coolie detailed by him. Under implied contract, there is a separate form of contract which is also known as tacit contract. Let's understand what is the meaning of tacit. Tacit means silent. Tacit contracts are those that are informed through the conduct of parties without any words spoken or written. A classic example of a tacit contract would be when cash is withdrawn by a customer of bank from the ATM machine. Let's go to the third one, a quasi-contract. A quasi-contract is an actual contract, but it resembles a contract. It is created by law under certain circumstances. The law creates and enforces legal rights and obligations when no real contract exists. Such obligations are known as quasi-contracts. In other words, it is a contract in which there is no intention on the part of either of the parties to make the contract, but the law imposes a contract upon the parties. Let's take one example here. Obligation of finder of lost goods to return them back to the true owner, or liability of a person to whom money is paid under mistake to repay it back cannot be said to arise out of a contract, even if it is in the remotest sense, as there is neither offer and acceptance nor consent. These are said to be quasi-contracts. On the basis of modes of creation, the fourth type of contract is an e-contract. When a contract is entered into by two or more parties using electronic means such as emails is known as e-commerce contracts. This helps in doing the business transaction using electronic mode. These are also known as EDI contracts or cyber contracts. Let's come to the third classification on the basis of performance. On the basis of performance, a contract can be classified as the first one, executed contract, a contract which has already been performed. Let's take an example. When a grocer sells a sugar on cash payment, it is an executed contract because both the parties have done what they were supposed to do under the contract. Second one, executory contract. A contract which has to be performed in future is said to be an executory contract. For example, where G agrees to take the tuitions of H, let's say an engineering student, from next month, and H in consideration promises to pay G rupees 1000 per month. The contract is executory because it is yet to be carried out. These type of contracts can be further classified as unilateral or bilateral contracts. Let's see what is the unilateral contract. A unilateral contract is one-sided contract in which one party has performed his duty or obligation and the other party's obligation is outstanding. For example, M advertises payment of reward of rupees 5000 to anyone who finds his missing boy and brings him back. As soon as B traces the boy, there comes into an existence an executed contract because B has performed his share of obligation and it remains for M to pay the amount of reward to B. This type of executory contract is called as a unilateral contract. Let's come to the second classification on the basis of executory contract, that is a bilateral contract. A bilateral contract is one where the obligation or promise is outstanding on part of both the parties. Let's take example here. A promises to sell his plot to B for rupees 1 lakh, but B pays only rupees 25,000 as earnest money and promises to pay the balance on next Sunday. On the other hand, A gives the possession of the plot to B and promises to execute the sale on the receipt of the whole amount. The contract between A and B is executory because there remains something to be done on both the sides. These type of executory contracts are known as bilateral contracts. With this, we come to end of this video. I hope this video has helped you understand what are the different types of contracts which are covered under Indian Contract Act of 1872. Hope to meet you soon in the coming videos. Thank you for watching.